Hello Libra, welcome back. This is Misty with the Oracle Evolution, and we are doing part 3 for your reading, and hopefully you watched part 1, which that one was just a general, but you can watch all three videos because they're broken down into just the general, then there's the love, and then this one is prosperity. So you can watch all 3, or you could just, watch whichever one that resonates with you. Also remember, we have a lot of different zodiac signs, or whatever, in our charts. And so you may not necessarily even be a Libra, but perhaps you're watching this because one of your planets, one of your placements that has to do with prosperity is in Libra. So for example, Venus, Jupiter have to do with prosperity. Even your MC or midheaven has to do with prosperity, because that one has to do with like your career, profession, things like that. Okay. So you could just be your sun sign is in Libra, or it could be one of those other placements. Either way works perfectly well. What I usually like to do when I watch any type of videos or listen to any type of readings, my sun sign is in Cancer, so I prefer to definitely watch a video that has to do with Cancer, but depending on what it is I'm looking for, what information I'm seeking, then I may go to one of my other placements and watch a video that has to do, with that particular sign, and see if that resonates a little bit better with, what I'm looking for or what's going on in my life. Okay. So this one is over prosperity. And so remember, well, I'm not going to say remember, I'm sorry, because you may not have watched that first video. So these are the cards that we had pulled for you, Libra. And what it is that we need to work on healing, what Libra needs to work on healing, or really the lesson that you're learning. Okay. So the lesson, you actually had 2 cards that came up, which were Go the Distance. You had Go the Distance and Deep Knowing. And for some reason, both of those cards came out in reverse, which is not anything negative, you guys. So they both flipped out in reverse. And just FYI, when I have my cards, they all start upright. I don't have any mixture of cards that are upright and reversed. Everything is upright. So these 2 cards just came out in reverse for you. Okay. And so with that being said, with this being your lesson that has to do with deep knowing and go, it was reversed. It was Go the Distance, and then it was Deep Knowing, and they came up in reverse. So as it relates to Go the Distance, upright is about you focusing on your long-term goals and continuous, or continuing to take action, right? So for me, with the fact that it came up in reverse, I would say that your lesson that you're learning is about focusing more, or learning how to, right? How to focus on your short-term goals. So not always looking in the far future. You want to look a little bit closer at more of your and focus in, hone in on those short-term goals that you have for yourself, so that you can get immediate results. You know what I mean? So focusing on your short-term goals, and what that would look like would be, okay, so you set like a mini goal or a short-term goal, and then you have a certain, like maybe you want, and it's up to you, like everyone is different. So when I say short-term, like for you, that could be 3 weeks, that could be a month, that could be 6 weeks, whatever it is for you. Obviously I wouldn't get into, more like the full 6 months or a year. Those are long-term goals, you guys. 10 years, that's a long-term goal. We're looking at really short, and it depends on, what you're focusing on as to how short those need to be. So let's say you decide that for you, you're looking at every 4 weeks, like you're setting like a mini goal or a micro goal. And then after that 4 weeks, you're going to take some time to reflect, to review, like, how did things go? Did you reach your goal? If you did, what did you do to reach that goal? If you didn't, how far, because it's okay to fail. Failing is great, but by how much did you fail? Like, did you almost make that goal? Or were you all the way off? And then, maybe you would have to reevaluate, like maybe that was a really big goal that was more intended for something that should have been long-term. Or maybe there were some actions that you could have or should have taken that you're going to take for this next time, right? So just kind of reevaluating, reflecting, making those adjustments, and then just go ahead and repeat. No judgment, not being harsh or, hard on yourself, not feeling any shame or guilt about reaching the goal or not reaching the goal. Just digging in and, working towards whatever it is that you're trying to obtain that is going to lead to a long-term goal. Okay. So that's what we have for goal, the distance. And then the other one that we had was, for you, Libra, is deep knowing. So when it comes to deep knowing, upright, it is about just listening to your intuition. It's like your intuition is on point. It is on fire. You know exactly what it is that you need to do. Like, you just have a hunch, and you're going to take the risk and you're going to take action. And that is, by taking those risks and taking that action based on your hunches, like, that's going to lead to a lot of prosperity. That's what it looks like in the upright. And again, we're talking about prosperity. So this has to do with your creativity or your money making endeavors. When it is in, because it's in reverse for you, what I feel like this means is that it is time for you to slow down. So still going with the slow down, because we're, just like with that go the distance, with that deep knowing, slow it down. Spend time doing, because, maybe you're not so sure, but just slow down, take more time to observe, think more logically at this time. And I'm going to say to always, always, always listen to your intuition. But I'm also going to say, with this deep knowing being in reverse, that perhaps you should also couple that or balance that with your actual logic. Okay. So the next card that you have is here. It has to do with what lesson have you already learned? And what you pulled was imagine. And so what you have already learned, Libra, is that planning, that it's basically time for you to plan, to come up with a clear plan, to get clear on how you're going to create the prosperity, the abundance that you're seeking, right? That you deserve, that you seek. Also, you need to get clear. You already have learned this lesson. It's not to say that you're doing it, but that you know this, you're aware of this, you've learned this lesson. But you also have learned that you have to be clear on who you need to become, meaning what version of yourself. I don't mean that you need to become someone else. I don't mean you need to be like Mike. I mean, like, what version of yourself? Because you have all of those versions within yourself. So what version of yourself do you need to tap into? What attributes do you need to tap into? And then just doing it, right? So you're already aware of that. The obstacle, the next one has to do with the obstacle that you're facing as it relates to that. And so the obstacle is round and round, which has to do with cycles, repeating cycles. So you're repeating cycles as it relates to your work or your business in this case, because we're talking about prosperity. When it comes to your money, even you're kind of making the same, I don't want to say mistakes, but you're taking the same repeated actions and you're getting the same repeated results, right? But what obviously you're looking for something different. And so it suggests here that you need to evaluate why you're repeating the cycle and what you need to do to fix it or to stop it, right? So why are we repeating these same cycles when it comes to our work, our career, our creative endeavors, our money? And we need to find out, why, and we want to fix it. We want to stop it. And let's look at it as not like oh my gosh, why do I keep making the same mistakes? But more of, oh my goodness, like I am aware that I am making these repeated mistakes. And now I have the opportunity. It is an opportunity. You have the opportunity to fix it because you already know what it is that you don't need to do, right? So this is an opportunity for you to fix it. Because it's affecting it has an impact on your finances and your prosperity. What you want to do is look closely at, for example, when it comes to work, when it comes to your endeavors, when it comes to your prosperity, who has your back? Reflect on that. Who always has your back? Okay? Who seems to always be around when there's some type of sabotage? And keep in mind though that sometimes the person that is sabotaging your prosperity and your success can also, it doesn't have to be an outside person. Sometimes it can be yourself, but you still need to reflect on that. Who has your back? Who attempts to sabotage you and your work? Also, you want to look at how are you responding in certain situations that relate to your work environment, your career, your creative endeavors. If you think about ways that you're responding and it's like you're responding in the same way, there is an opportunity, right, to respond different, to do something different there. And this card also kind of suggests that if you are sometimes we have trouble seeing, we have trouble seeing what it is that we need to see. I don't know. And so sometimes you need another set of eyes, not just your own, but perhaps you need another set of eyes to help guide you, to help maybe a mentor or a coach or something like that, to help you see those weak spots or see things that you don't actually see. Like there may be someone who is sabotaging you and your work or your money, and you don't even see it because, maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a family member, maybe it's someone that you love and you're blind to it. Okay. Maybe there are some actions that you take that sabotage, your money or your work or your creative endeavors, but, you don't see it because it's you, right? So having an extra set of eyes might be something that, would kind of help out with that. So that's what we have for round and round. Okay, so the next one that we have is how can you overcome the obstacle that you're facing? And in this instance, how can we get out of the cycles, right? How do we stop? How do we get off that merry-go-round as it relates to our money, our prosperity, our finances, or whatever? And we have truth be told. And so with truth be told, when it comes to your prosperity, it calls for you to think about, or really it's time to be true to your calling. If you really want to move forward towards prosperity, right? So you have to be honest with yourself. Are you doing whatever it takes to get the bag, right? Are you doing whatever it takes to really be prosperous? And this is, for example, if you are a writer and you're wanting to use that to create your prosperity, are you writing? If you're a singer and you want to use that to become prosperous, right? To get your prosperity, are you singing? Whatever it is that you see yourself doing, that's going to get you to be prosperous, are you actually taking time out to do it? Are you being true to that? Okay. And one thing that I kind of think about is I don't know, it just kind of popped in my head. A lot of the times we hear people talking about how to be prosperous, or, you know, to be abundant, or, you know, whatever, how you have to work hard. And for me, I mean, yes and no, because for you to truly be prosperous, usually you have to do something that you love doing. So going back to, you know, writing, singing, speaking, whatever those things are that you truly love and you're truly good at, like, that's how you're going to really be prosperous. It doesn't mean that you can't make money the other way, like with, you know, other things that may not be your calling. They may not be things that, like, it's not like, you know, I don't know, like if you're waking up and you're like, thank goodness it's Friday, because, you know, you really don't like your job, that may not be what's gonna get you to true prosperity. I mean, I'm trying to think of a polite way of saying that, but that's not what's gonna lead to prosperity for you, because it's not something that you love. It's not your calling, right? Doesn't mean that you won't make money, or, you know, maybe it'll be sufficient money for you, but we're talking about true, just like true prosperity, or, you know, whatever that, because for me, prosperity is not just about the money. There's some happiness involved with that, right? And if you're like, oh my God, thank God it's Friday, then I don't know if that's really prosperity. I don't know. That's just me. But also you want to honestly assess your feelings in your relationship as it relates to money. That's also what, you know, this card is saying. Truth be told, how do you really feel about money? You know, what is your relationship with money? Because, for example, if you were taught, or if you were raised that, you know, money is the root of all evil, it's so bad, that's what makes people, you know, money makes people do this and this and that, then you may not have the best relationship with money, right? And so how that manifests in your life is, as soon as you get a couple of dollar bills, you're making it rain, right? You're getting it out of your hand. You're getting it out as soon as it comes. You're dishing it right back out, right? So you're not really getting the opportunity to build that wealth, to build that prosperity, because deep down, or subconsciously, or, you know, whatever, you really don't like money. Like, you don't really have a great relationship with money. And so you have to assess that, and try to heal and fix whatever that is. Okay. Okay. And so that has to do with the truth be told and prosperity. And the next one that we had was, this one is, why is this lesson even important? Like, how is it going to benefit you? And it's more like in the future, like, what do you get out of learning this lesson? What are you going to get out of, you know, with the go the distance and deep knowing? What are you going to get out of that? And what you have is happy. And for happy, it's basically saying what you may not know, or what you may not see, or what's coming, and how this is going to benefit you is, you're going to accomplish your goals. You're going to accomplish whatever it is that you set out to do, whatever it is that you want, and you are going to be very well compensated for a job well done. That's what you don't see. You're going to be compensated for your good work. And the really good part about that is, you know, like we talked about, if you are being true to your calling, like, how great, how awesome is that, right? To be in your calling, to live out, you know, your calling, to do what you're called to do, and to be compensated for it. So like not worrying about like, you know, forget thank goodness it's Friday, thank goodness it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, because every day is a good day. Every day is an awesome day that we're grateful for. Okay. And knowing, because when you're in that, when you're working, like you're in your purpose or you're in your true calling, know that when you're doing that, and you're at that happy where you're actually getting compensated for it, it is because you are co-creating. That is where you're to the point where you are co-creating with God. You're co-creating with spirit, and you're being blessed. You're being very blessed. We'll just say you're being blessed, okay, by God. You're being blessed by spirit. You already are, but this is, you know, like you're actually seeing how blessed you are, because I believe that we're all blessed, and sometimes we can't see it. We don't know that we are, because we have some things to work out. So this is, you get to see that you're being blessed by spirit, because by God, by spirit, because you're working directly with God. You're co-creating. And you know, all I can say for that is, like, when you get to that point, don't forget to give credit where credit is due, because it wasn't just you. It is it's a co-creation. So just, you know, be grateful and remember that. So that is what we are looking at for your prosperity, Libra. I hope that you enjoyed this message. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video if you enjoyed the reading. Even if you didn't, you can still do it. And I thank you for being here. I thank you for listening. I'm so glad that you were here with me, Misty, at the Oracle Evolution. I love you so much. Have a great day. Bye.